The Pushkin State Museum of Fine Arts boasts one of the richest collections of foreign art in Russia, showcasing global artistic developments from ancient times to the present day in expositions numbering 700,000 works of art. From its foundation, the Pushkin Museum has operated not only as an exhibition platform but as a research and educational center, engaging generations of people in art and world culture and promoting art as a discipline worthy of scientific research. Moscow University professor Ivan Svetaev founded the Pushkin Museum of Fine Arts in 1896. This innovative museum was not just home to valuable foreign artwork donated by members of Russian high society, but also to thousands of plaster casts of important sculptures and architectural features in World Heritage. The Pushkin Museum was greatly expanded under the Soviets, with the requisition of artwork from estates and museums to add to its collection, as well as many more donations. In the mid-1890s, Ivan Svetaev, professor and doctor of Roman literature at Moscow State University, visited the Albertinum Art Museum in Dresden and was inspired by what he discovered there. Upon returning to Russia, Svetaev drew up a competition to be organized by the St. Petersburg Academy of Arts, to design a museum of fine arts in Moscow. 18 projects were submitted, and the design of young Muscovite architect Roman Ivanovich Klein was selected, which envisioned the museum as a majestic ancient temple reminiscent of the Greek Acropolis. In keeping with its exterior, specialists on ancient art, culture and architecture were commissioned to design the interior. The museum's foundation was organized by a volunteer committee comprising history and philology professors at MSU, art collectors and the government, and was chaired by Grand Duke Sergei Alexandrovich. The Museum of Fine Arts, named after Emperor Alexander III, was opened on 31 May 1912, with Ivan Svetaev as its director. The initial collection included exhibits from Moscow State University's Cabinet of Fine Art, antiquities, foreign paintings, sculptures and decorative art, much of it donated from the private collections of Russia's academics, statesmen, collectors and members of the royal family. Immediately after opening, the Pushkin Museum of Fine Arts was astoundingly popular and thousands of visitors flocked there every week. Aside from art exhibitions, lectures and excursions were held for university students and the public, channeling the museum's purpose as a scientific and educational center. The Pushkin Museum of Fine Arts prospered after the revolution. It was separated from the activities of Moscow State University, by that time under the ideological control of the Soviets, and designated an independent art museum. Between 1924 and 1930, artwork from Moscow's nationalized noble and royal estates, from many of the city's liquidated museums, and from the State History Museum, Kremlin, Tretyakov Gallery and State Hermitage was assimilated into the museum's collection. Upon the outbreak of the Second World War, the greater part of the museum's expositions was evacuated to Novosibirsk and Solikamsk in Siberia to save it from destruction. Reconstruction of the damaged museum began in 1944, and in the post-war period the Pushkin Museum's activities continued with renewed vigor. Its collection continued to expand with artwork acquired by the Soviet soldiers during wartime and world-famous artworks by Western European and American masters of the second half of the 19th and the early 20th centuries. What can you see at the Pushkin Museum of Fine Arts? At present, the collections of the Pushkin Museum of Fine Arts constitute more than 700,000 works of art spanning from ancient Egypt to the 21st century. They include paintings, sculptures, graphic art, engravings, decorative and applied art, icons, mosaics, glasswork, archaeological artifacts, numismatic items, and photography. Additionally, there is a vast collection of tinted plaster casts commissioned by Svetaev during the Pushkin Museum's time as part of Moscow State University. Aside from the permanent collections and temporary exhibitions showcasing work from the Pushkin Museum and international institutions, the museum organizes a rich cultural and educational program of lectures, excursions, concerts, masterclasses, and more. The 30 halls of the main building comprise exhibitions from many historical eras. On the ground floor, a number of halls are dedicated to German, Flemish and Dutch art from the 15th-17th centuries and include work by Rubens, Van Dyck, and Rembrandt. The majority of the ground floor is occupied by one of the world's largest collections of ancient Egyptian and Greek art, which was part of the museum's original collection and displayed the latest archaeological discoveries at the time of the museum's founding. This includes art and antiquities from ancient Egypt, Greece, including objects from the archaeological excavation of Troy, Rome, Byzantium, and the Middle East, as well as impressive plaster casts of important architectural and sculptural features from these periods, some of which is exhibited in the impressive Greek and Italian courtyards. The first floor houses Italian, French and Spanish art from the 17th-19th centuries, as well as a huge number of casts of famous Dutch, German and Italian sculptures from the 15th-16th centuries, of ancient Greek and Roman art and artifacts, and of Western European and Byzantine religious sculpture and architecture from the 5th-15th centuries.